Hey guys, today I'm going to tell a story that was an incredible story. It's about the Johnny Keys hit. It all started in Philadelphia. There was a guy, Angelo Bruno, who was the boss of the Philadelphia mob. One day when he was being driven home by a made guy, they pulled into his driveway. They were coming from Philadelphia to his house. And a guy came out of weeds and shot him with a shotgun right in the back of the head and killed him. Killing a boss is one of the biggest things that could happen in organized crime. Immediately, there was a commission meeting in New York. The whole 5 families, the bosses were getting together to get to the bottom of it. The Gambino family, the Genovese family, Bonanno, Colombo, and Lucchese families. And they talked about who did what. It's a golden rule, you can't kill a boss. So they were angry, and they were going to find out who did what and get revenge. A war broke out. Unbeknownst to most people, the head, the Gunzier of the Bonanno of the Philadelphia mob was a guy named Tony Bananas. And he talked with somebody in the Genovese family. And they gave him a little bit of a wink and a nod. If Angelo Bruno is dead, he was against drug dealing. We could get together and do that. Millions of dollars is involved. And we have different businesses, shipping, unions, things that those 2 families could hook up together. They would back the new boss. And then that new boss, instead of Angelo Bruno, who was close with Paul Castellano, and prior to him, Carlo Gambino, in commission meetings, when he would send in a vote or something, that would not be in place anymore. Then the people from Philadelphia would vote with the Genovese family. But nobody knew this. Meeting happened. I wanted to start it off that way. So a war broke out. Phil, the Chicken Man Tester, was the underboss. He was on one side. The other side was a guy named Johnny Keys, Johnny Simone. He was Angelo Bruno's cousin, an extremely powerful captain with a big crew. He wanted to be now the new boss. When Tony Bananas took his brother-in-law, Joe Salerno, who's a made guy as well, they went in to talk to Chin Gigante, the boss of the Genovese family, thinking that they did the right thing and everything's going to be great. They made a mistake. He was going to be double-crossed. One way to break the bond, or what's known that they gave a wink and a nod, was to get rid of him. So they killed Tony Banana. And they called his brother-in-law in, Joe Salerno. Killed him as well. They got money, and they stuck it in his mouth or in his ass. There was another commission meeting, and they came out and said, listen, these are the guys who killed the boss. They came in to talk to us about money and greed, and we killed them. But what they really did was break the bond to never know that they were behind the hit to begin with. So the commission said, okay, that's fine. Who are we going to back now as the boss? So there was Phil the Chicken Man Testa left, and Johnny Keys, Angelo Bruno's cousin, very powerful captain. A short time went by, and Phil the Chicken Man Testa went home on his porch, opening the door, and a bomb went off, a keg of nails went off, and he was killed instantly. So now the underboss, Phil the Chicken Man Testa, was dead as well. Bodies were flying all over the place. The commission didn't know what the hell is going on. In the process of that, Phil the Chicken Man Testa was bringing Nicky Scarfo from Atlantic City, a made guy, to come in. Phil the Chicken Man Testa would become the boss, and he would make Nicky Scarfo the gonzia. But now Phil was dead. And that left Nicky Scarfo. Nicky Scarfo was in prison with a lot of guys from the Genovese family. So they felt super comfortable backing him and starting a drug thing, business, the unions, everything, the shipping, and that Nicky would be indebted to them, vote with them, and they would control not only areas in New York, but in Philadelphia, even parts of Jersey. So now the war was between Nicky Scarfo, who was secretly being backed by the Genovese. He convinced the entire Chin Gigante, convinced the entire commission to back Nicky Scarfo. And they did. But they couldn't get Johnny Keys out of the way. As much as they tried, he had 20 or 30 guys around him, all of them armed. He didn't move around. He was an older guy, very smart, cunning. He had 50 hits under his belt. Very dangerous guy. They couldn't get rid of him. They called it the impossible hit. Mission impossible. Couldn't get rid of him. At one time, Nicky Scarfo went to a restaurant. It was more of an ice cream parlor, a lot of women and kids, hamburgers, stuff like that. Wasn't really a restaurant. And he bumped into a guy named Pal Joey and Nicky Russo. Both of them Jersey guys, both of them made guys. Both of them were with my captain, Toto Arello. I was already made at this point. I was an acting captain. I was made in 1976. 1977, I became Toto's acting captain. Somebody saw Pal Joey and Nicky Russo in that restaurant, diner, whatever you want to call it, and went back to the commission. Another commission meeting was held. When Paul Castellano, who was the boss, and almost literally the boss of bosses at that time after Carlo Gambino was dead, the commission said, "You've been backing Johnny Keys." And the decision was that Johnny Keys has got to go and Nicky Scarfo could become the boss. So you're backing him on a sneak. He denied it. Of course it was true. He had no knowledge of this meeting between Pal Joey, Nicky Russo, and Johnny Keys. So they said, well, two of your guys in your family, two made guys, Pal Joey and Nicky Russo, were seen meeting with him. And you don't know about it? No. They said, well, being your guys could meet with him, know him, then you have the contract to kill him, to prove to us that you had no knowledge of this. Your guys could call him into a meeting and talk with him. Whack him. Paul left the meeting. And he sent for Tato. I was sitting in a club playing cards. I was a young guy sitting down playing cards. And Tato got a message. And he turned around while I was playing cards and said, somebody take his hand. Sammy, get up. Take me to the boss's house. I got up. The guy took my cards. I got up. I got in the car and I was driving there. I didn't know what it was about. I was literally his driver and there for security. Nothing else. I wasn't on any kind of major level to have this conversation with them. We got to the house, the maid opened the door, and we went in. Paul was sitting there. The maid disappeared. He probably told her to go wherever she had to go. And I stood back, standing there. I'm a driver. I'm there for security. Paul is ripping fucking mad. His fucking veins in his neck are sticking out. He is ripping mad. And he tells Tato what happened. At the commission meeting, Pal Joey, Nicky Russo, he tells Tato, are your fucking guys. Do they know that there's a war going on? I don't know. I don't never talk to them about it. They never told me there was any kind of meeting. And he calmed down a little bit. And he told Tato, get them and bring them into a meeting with me right away. And we left. Tato told me, get in touch with Nicky and Joey. Tell them to come in. A couple of days later, they're in, and we're going to go to another meeting with Paul Castellano. He says, Sam, you do the driving again. So now Tato was in the car. Nicky and Joey were in the back seat, and I was driving. Again, I was nothing more than a driver and security. That was it. We got to the house and we went in. Paul just was ripping into them about their knowledge of the war, their meeting with Johnny Keys. And they were saying, Paul, we know there was a thing. We hear about it. We didn't talk to him about the war or what's going on. We know him a lot of years. We just bumped into each other. We were talking to one another. He said, well, now, your meeting, what happened is, they thought I was ordering these meetings on a sneak. And now we have the fucking hit. Now it's our responsibility to take this guy out who has been literally untouchable. He looks over Tato's shoulder and looks right at me and says, Sammy, could you take him out? I was stunned. Now I'm knowing this is a mission impossible. Nobody could get it done. He's got a big crew. There's a war. Guys are getting killed all over the place. But after I got over being stunned, I said, I guess I could. I don't know where he stays. I don't know what he looks like. I really know nothing about him other than reading things in the paper or hearing bullshit every once in a while. I don't know these people. I don't know nothing. Can you do it? Yes, Paul. Yes. I just need information. Good. He turns around to Nicky and Joey. He says, you're on the hit. You know him. You can reach him. You can talk to him. You've done that. They're yesing him. Yes, Paul. Yes, Paul. You're on the hit. Under Sammy. Sammy is in charge of the hit. Do whatever the fuck he tells you to do. Do it. And we leave the house. We drive back to Tato's club. We have a conversation, and Nicky and Joey, what do you want me to do? Get me a picture of him. You have a picture of him? Where does he stay? You met him in a restaurant. The name of the restaurant, I think, was Friendly's. Friendly's restaurant. Like I said, it was a hamburger place, ice cream parlor. I said, I'm going to get my crew. And we're going to go down to Friendly's and look at it and see what we can do. I went back and took Nicky and Joey to my crew. And I told them about the hit and everything that's being said about it, and that we have it. It's a mission impossible. So my crew listened to the whole thing, and are we going to do it, Sammy? Yeah. And we're going to get together and we're going to go to this restaurant, Friendly's. I'm told the whole layout of the place. I says, okay. I'll be sitting at a counter. When you open the door, there's a ground counter. I'll be sitting at the counter with a baseball cap and a jacket. And I'll have my piece under my jacket. I'll have one of you sit next to me. You, Louis Melito, you sit in the first booth with a baseball cap and a shotgun under your jacket. You two guys sit on the other side in the other aisle in booths with pistols. You, Nicky and Joey, sit in the back. When you see him coming in the door, you get up and wave to him. I'll see you, I'll know. As he's getting right behind me, nod your head. I'll know he's the guy. As he passes me, I will spin around and shoot him in the head. You, Louis, pull the shotgun out, shoot it up in the air, and scream to everybody, hit the floor, get out. While everybody's running out of this restaurant, we'll all exit with them. I'll have 2 more shooters outside. When I take a real good look at the place, I stand up. This was just a test run. And I wave like this to come in. Everybody, come out. We get outside in the street. And I said, no, we're not going to do this. One of the guys, why, Sammy? What's wrong? There's fucking a ton of women and children all over the place. I'm not going to do it here. This is crazy. I'm not going to do it here. You went with him to other places. You said he has a pizzeria. He has a pizzeria, yeah. We can go there. Yeah, but he's got 20, 30 guys around him all the time. It's closed to the public. It looks like a pizzeria. It's got a counter. It's got everything. It's closed to the public. There's 20, 30 guys there. He sits in the back, all the way in the back, in a booth. I go back to my club, and I said, I want to think about this. And Some of my crew said, Sammy, fuck this thing. I can't get done. Just give the boss a message. We're working on it. We're going to be like everybody else. We can't do it. We're trying. It's a mission impossible. They gave us a fucking mission impossible hit. We can't do it either. No big deal. I thought about those words. And I says, I can't do that, bro. Why? This is part of our oath. I can't do it. We got to do this hit. Whatever it takes, we have to do this fucking hit. Then how the fuck what are we going to do? I said, Nicky, Joey, make an appointment with him at that pizzeria. And tell him this, word for word for word. There's a guy, Sammy, don't call me the bull, Sammy. Paul wants to send him to give you a message and get a message. He's a made guy, he's a friend of ours. He's a complete jerk off, a bitch, a punk, but he brings great messages back and forth. So Paul uses them for those reasons. And he wants him to come down and meet with you and talk and send a message to you guys. He agrees. He needs backing, he needs help. He knows he's fighting the whole fucking commission, he's fighting the whole world. I tell Tato. Tato says, Sam, I don't know him that good. I knew Angelo, but I know this guy is a tough guy. 68, 69 years old. He's no fucking dummy. You're not going to play with him. He's got a lot of hits under his belt. 50, from what I heard. I heard the same thing. I'll be careful. Tato agreed. You're in charge of the hit. You don't even have to tell me what you're going to do. Even though I'm directly your boss. But he's above being my captain. He's like a father to me. So I'm going to talk to him with everything anyway. They make an appointment. I told my crew, stay away from this place. Be out there in Jersey, but stay away from this place. Stay a couple of miles away. And we go to the meeting. Me, Nicky Russo, and pal Joey. When we hit the door, there's a bunch of guys, 5, 6, 7, whatever. And they are just frisking us down. The guy grabs everything in between my legs. I told him, whoa, shut the fuck up, he told me. He's going and feeling every single part of my body. And pushing me around a little bit. I know I can't show any kind of sign of anger, or they might recognize that as being a little bit of a tough guy. I'm not supposed to be that at all. So I'm acting nervous and scared. I'm not scared, I am a little nervous. I go in with Nicky Russo and pal Joey. We go all the way to the back, but there's 10, 12 at least guys. They're not hiding. There's a shotgun laying here, a rifle over here, a guy sitting like with his hands like this with 2 guns on him. They want to intimidate me. They want to show their strength. They don't want to fight. They want to kill. I get in the back and I start talking to him. Before I actually start talking to him, Nicky and Joey, well, it was Nicky actually, who introduces me as Sammy being a friend of ours, meaning a May guy, in the Gambino family. And he's here for a meeting with you, John. And he nods. Then they introduce him. This is Johnny Keys. He's a very powerful captain in the Philadelphia mob. Now we have our introduction. We're in the oath. We both took this. You can't talk without that. So now we're going to talk. He's talking to me about the Genovese family and this and that and his uncle and the driver and all of these things. I'm listening, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm not there to get a story. I'm there to kill him. We go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. At one point, when he's talking and I'm talking about bullshit messages from Paul Castellano, he's going to be on your side and back you in the commission. We want to back you. He wants to back you. He wants to do this, this, this. As I'm talking, I see him put his hand on his chin. And he's looking up. And I say to myself, he's thinking. He's thinking. If he thinks I'm bullshitting, they're going to pull me out of this booth, like Nicky and Joey told me. They're going to bring me down the basement. They're going to torture me until they find out the truth. And then they're going to kill me. I have to break his thought. I said, John, I have to admit, I'm so nervous and scared. My mouth is dry. I can't even talk. He looks at me, smirks, and says, you're everything they told me. I know what they told him. Get him water. Somebody comes over with water. This is a little over your head, isn't it, kid? I'm nervous, you know. I don't want to say I'm scared, but I'm acting like it. When we're done, I'm going to leave. I have his whole story. I have the whole thing. I leave. Me and my crew go back to Brooklyn, and we're in my club. Toto comes down. What did you do? I tell him the whole thing. What do you think? You can't kill him there. An army can't kill him there. He's way in the back. He's got 15, 20 guys there. They're showing guns and rifles and pistols. They got all the equipment. You'd lose. It would be a war. Be impossible. It's impossible. And what are you going to do? Todd, I don't know. What do you think I should do? Sammy, I don't know. This is a commission hit. It's as high as it gets. And your boss has given you the hit. You did the right thing. You can't refuse. But you can do what I heard somebody say is that I'm trying. I can't get to first base. It'll go out a hit that can't be done. Is that what you want me to do, Tato? Sammy, I'm more than your captain. You're like a son to me. I want you to do what you think is right. Tato, I took the oath to Cosa Nostra. And that I would kill for the family. And you said it best. This is from the commission and my boss. I don't want to go down as a liar that I bullshitted about this hit. I got to do it. I got to try it. I got to go back again. Do what? Pal Joey says, Sammy, this new bullshit story you're making up, what you want to tell him, he's not going to buy that bullshit. Listen, Nikki, Joey, make another appointment with him, and this is what I'm going to tell him. This time, don't come in. We already were introduced. I don't need you in the restaurant. Stay outside. The door be open. You could see me from the sidewalk. You could see in the place. If they're pulling me out of this fucking booth, turn around, get in the car, and get the fuck out of here. No, if they do that, yeah, I'll come in. No. You can't come in. You can't save me. You know it. There's nothing you can do for me but die with me. If I die in this meeting, you know it and I know it. Other guys will follow. There'll be other guys. And you're going to be useful to them with the information. You can't help me. I want you to turn the fuck around. If they're forcing me out of that booth, you know I'm done. I spoke to my crew. Some of my crew was a little, Sammy, this fucking crazy, bro. You're committing suicide. Yeah, maybe. What do you want us to do? I don't know yet. But I do know this. If I don't come out of this fucking meeting, I want you to promise me you're going to take care of my fucking family. And that goes in Austria, all of you. Of course, everybody. Sammy, we got it. The meeting breaks up. The next meeting is set. Right before I'm going to go, I go see Taro. He knows exactly what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say. And he says, all right, Sammy. And he gives me a hug, as usual. The only thing is, this hug was so much tighter and stronger than it's ever been. I pulled back a little bit and looked at him. He had a tear rolling down his cheek and watery eyes. He kissed me harder than he's ever kissed me on the cheek. As I walked away, I knew he thought I would die at this meeting. My crew didn't like it either. But I was taken to the meeting, and I was determined to go into this meeting and try to con him out of this fucking restaurant where I could do it. I came back in, and we had this meeting, and we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I said, listen, Paul Castellano wants to back you in the commission. He wants you to be the boss and win this war. He wants to know, do you need guns? Do you need money? Do you need shooters? He's going to back you. He's all smiles. He's happy to hear it. I said, but there's one thing. He wants to sit down with you himself. You and him, alone. None of these guys. No guns. Of course, he will have Tommy Bellotti, a captain who drives him around all the time. You know that. Yes, he nods. He'll be there. I'll be there because I'm taking you to the meeting. And your friends, Nicky and Joey, who are outside, they'd probably be there, maybe sitting at a table somewhere. And, but the best part of this, John, is this. You pick the place. There's a war. He has to be safe, Paul, and you. Think of a place that you and him would be safe. We will be around to make sure as security. We're not going to be in the meeting. It'll just be you and him, face up. He's thinking, Sammy, I got the greatest place in the world. I belong to this golf club, and it's a high-end place. There's security. There's a gate. There's armed guards at the gate to let you in or out. I smile. That's great. And you guys could sit up in the, wherever the place is on the inside. Yes. Yes. Great. Again, no guns, no anything. We don't want you guys to get caught by the cops or get caught short. There's a war. It's done. He's smiling. I'm smiling. He's happy with his situation. He picked the place. He loves it. I'm smiling because I know I'm going to kill him in this parking lot. We shake hands. I get up to leave. And one of his guys, big, tall, fucking guy, hits me with his elbows hard. Really hard. Knocked the fucking wind out of me. I was pretty strong back in those days. Really knocked the wind out of me. Hit me right in the side. Hey, punk ass, how'd your meeting go? Bro, come on, what are you doing, bro? We're friends. I'm here to, I'm talking in a good way with your man. And he smiles. I smile at him. He smiled because he got away with what he did. I smile because I'm saying to myself, I wish you come to this fucking meeting because I'm going to blow your fucking head right off your shoulders. Fucking ox. I walk out. I tell Nicky and Joey, do you know this golf club? Yeah, of course. Nicky Russo says, I'm a member. Oh, good. Then we could get in there. Yeah, I could. Good. I get all my guys and them, get in this truck. Let's go there. We go there. There's a big pole that comes down. There's 2 guards in the thing. They're armed. They smile. They open up the gate. We go in. I said, pull in. About 60, 70 feet away from the guardhouse, and we're into the place, but not near the front yet. It's a huge parking lot. I said, pull the car in here. We pull in. When we pull in with him, this is exactly where we're going to park the car. I look up another 25, 30 feet, 40 feet. I said, there'll be a truck, a van, all right, right there. All of you guys will be in that van. Not just pistols, shotguns. We have one automatic weapon. It's a fucking Uzi. That and pistols. We're going to do this right in the parking lot. If the guards come out, we're going to kill them. Or we're going to get in the van with him. We're going to snatch him. And we'll drive out. If the guards are out there with guns, run them over, shoot them. The war is on. Everybody agrees. Nicky and Joey send word to him about the meeting and when it's going to happen. So we're in a car Pal Joey is going to drive. I'm going to be in the passenger seat. Nicky Russo is the oldest one of us. He's going to be behind Pal Joey. And Johnny Keys is going to be behind me. I know I'm going to get searched. We're all going to get searched. It was everything we did. We got searched all the time. He's very secure. We pull up to the place, and he's not in the back this time. He's near the front. He sees us. He comes out, comes right around the car, opens the door, jumps in behind me, literally comes right up on me. Again, from my neck on down, every single part of my body. Sammy, lift up. Get your ass off the chair. I get up. His hands are on my ass, under my ass, on my balls, everywhere. Pick your feet up. Pick my feet up from the ankles on up. And Pal Joey, he pats him down, but not that. Knows him a lot of years, I guess. He's not that leery of him. Pats him down. Same thing with Nicky. His guys are outside of the pizzeria looking at him, and they're pump fisting and go get him. Yeah. And he waves. I wave. And we take off. My crew is in the place already. In the truck. In the van. We pull in. We get to the spot where I said we would park the car. We park the car. We get out. Nicky and Joey are going to start walking ahead of us. I'm going to hesitate to have a little space, and I'm going to be talking with him. So there's going to be 15, 20, 25 feet distance between them and me and Johnny Keys. And I'm talking to him. And he says, "Hey, Sammy, look at that van. Those are my guys." "Yeah, what about it?" He said, "Look, there's little puffs of smoke coming out of the exhaust. I think it's running." I said, "Where?" I did a stutter step. I stopped, and as he was walking, he went a foot and a half, 2 feet ahead of me. I was really strong back then, and I grabbed him around his arms and chest and put him in a bear hug, picked him the fuck up, squeezed him into my body. The fucking door flew open. My guys come flying out of the van, came running over. We grab him, we scoop him up, we bring him, and we throw him in the fucking van. I actually jump in backwards with him on top of me. I never let go. While we make that little bit of a struggle, I see his hand. He can't get loose, but his hand is dangling, and he has a gun. No guns at the meeting. He's got a gun. I'm telling my guys, grab that fucking gun. He's got a gun. Get his fucking hand off the gun. He said, "We can't get his hand off." Break his fucking fingers. Get that fucking gun. Pal Joey gets it away from him. Puts it on his chest, and I says, "Oh, I'm under him. Don't shoot." I didn't say this, but the fucking moron, if you shoot him and the bullet goes through, I'm right underneath. I'm going to get hit. You're going to kill the two of us. So he doesn't shoot. We get ties, the plastic ties, around his wrists, around his legs. He's hog-tied. He's sitting on the floor. And we're in the van. On the way out, pulling out, we skid onto the grass. The truck goes sideways. We come off of that, and the thing is down. I crush through it. But we're skidding back and forth. We hit the thing, it breaks through. The thing goes sideways. I could see the guards going for their guns. We smash into it by accident. And they don't shoot. They just fucking probably didn't know which way to duck. And we take off. We're looking through the back. Nobody's following. We keep going. Good. Good. And I'm breathing a little bit easier now. Go down the road. Go towards this thruway. Somewhere before we get to the highway and thruway, I'm going to kill him and throw him out. But before that happens, pal Joey says, "Oh my God." I look at the back window. "Oh my God, what?" He says, "I got the keys to the car." Nikki's there still. Joey came with us. With him and the car. And my fucking gun wrapped up all the way under the seat with my goddamn fucking fingerprints on it are under the fucking car. Now, if they put two and two together that we came out of that car, Nikki might be fucking caught. They have the car. They have my gun. Oh, God. Pull this fucking truck over. We pull over. Joey, get the fuck out of this van. Run back to that place and go see what the fuck happened. Did Nikki get away? My gun is in the car. Sammy, we're far. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. Start running and get back to that place. I'll call you. We're going into Staten Island. We step out of the van while this is happening, so he don't hear that. And we start going. We're sitting there. He said, "A punk, a bitch, a jerk-off." That was some line, Sammy. You're everything but that. Fucking 5 families and the whole part, the other half of Philadelphia, couldn't kill me. You, a young snot-nose, got me sitting in this van. Unbelievable. But you made a mistake. All right, John. What did I do wrong? He said, "The windows. They could see in the windows. A cop sees in there. A fucking truckers, when they pass you on the highway, they could see in there. They're going to see me tied up with these guys in here. They'll call it in, and you're going to get busted." I look at the windows. He's right. Get some fucking rigs and cover these windows. But I say to myself, the fuck kind of guy I got here? He's telling me how to do a hit on himself. What the fuck kind of guy I got here? That's done and we're going. He says, "Sammy, I have a bad heart, and I'm feeling some pains in my chest. I got pills in my pocket. Give me them." "What kind of pills?" "Nitroglycerin pills. Put one under my tongue every 5 minutes till I come about." I look at it. Nitroglycerin. I do it. I put one. I wait about 3-4 minutes. "You okay, John?" "Give me another one." I give him another one. As I give him I say, fuck does he care how he's going to die? He's better off dying of a heart attack. He's about to get killed. What kind of a guy do I have here? What kind of guy is he? We keep going. He says, "Sammy, I want to ask you a question. Remember at the meeting when you said you were scared. Your mouth was dry. You needed water. Yeah, I remember. You were breaking my thought, weren't you? Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. How long have you been a hit guy? He's starting to question me, and we're starting to communicate almost literally like friends. We're talking about a hit. His hit. So many things come up back and forth. And he says, Sammy, I'm extremely wealthy. I can make you a very, very rich man. I said, John, come on, bro. This is goes in our show, like you said. This ain't about money. No money in the world could stop this for me. It's not going to happen. But please, don't do that. I'm starting to develop a tremendous respect for you. The way you're conducting yourself. You're conducting yourself like a man's man. Don't do this with the money. Oh, okay, Sammy. I should have known better. Yeah, you're straight up goes in Austria. We could tell you driving, talking, doing things. We're going to go by the toll. And I said, John, I'm going to push you against the wall. One or two of these guys are going to hold you like you can't move. I'm going to put my hand over your mouth. I'll cover you real tight. I'm going to get through the toll. He says, Sammy, come on, this is Cosa Nostra. Fuck the cops. I'm not going that way. I'm not going to go that route. Don't worry about it. You don't need to do that. No, I need to do it. Please, John, I'm not going to hurt you. I got to do it. I did it. From the minute we slowed down to the minute we got through. He didn't squirm. He didn't try to yell. He didn't try to bite me. He didn't try to do anything. I took my hand away. He says, Sammy, I told you, this is Cosa Nostra. This is between us. Fuck the cops. Okay, John. Okay. You're showing me something different, bro. You're showing me a great side of Cosa Nostra. You know, Sammy, I want to ask you for a couple more favors. Okay. What do you want? I'll do whatever you want. He says, make sure, if it's not you, that a friend of ours is the guy who puts the bullet in my head. I'm sure they're not all friends of ours. You're right, they're not all friends of ours. They will be, but I have one of them, Louis Melito, is a friend of ours. He'll do the shooting. Thank you. What else? Don't let me be found with my shoes on. Take my shoes off. Okay. But why? He said, my wife isn't stupid. She reads the papers. She knows Angelo Bruno. She knows he was killed. She knows there's a war. My name has been in the paper a couple of times, and she's scared. And I tell her all the time, don't worry about all of that bullshit. I'm going to die at home with my shoes off, not with my shoes on in the street. So if I'm found without my shoes on, she'll know that I was thinking about her seconds, minutes, moments before I died. She'll know I was thinking of her. Oh my God. Sounded like a love story. completely blew me away. The 69-year-old man worries about sending a message to, how old could his wife be, 66, 67? Oh my God. What kind of a guy do I got here? We keep going in, and before we got there, I said, slow up and pull over to the side. Pull over to the side. Put another one of those plastic things around his leg, a little looser than those. Put it looser, took off the other one. Same thing with his hands. Is that more comfortable? Yes, Sammy, that's great. That's great. I appreciate it. He talked to me about his life growing up, my life, different things. And we went on. Louis Melito, when we got to Staten Island, knew a guy at a gas station. On the side, there was a small little road. It was all pebbles. And in the back, there was where they chop up cars and crush cars or do whatever the fuck they do. We pulled in over there on the road. I said, all right, everybody get out. There was, across the street, there was a bagel place, coffee place. I said, Joe, you want bagels? What do you want? Coffee? You want this? Yeah, you order coffee, a bagel, or something. And everybody, take a break. I step out for a minute, and I tell the guys, make the call over there to Nicky and Joey. Tell them to find out what the fuck happened back there. Did Nicky get away? Is my gun away from that place? Try to find out what happened. What are you going to do, Sammy? I am not going to kill this guy now. If they found my car with my gun and my fingerprints and they put 2 and 2 together, I will, and what am I going to do, kill him and throw him in the street? I'll do life. I'm not doing nothing. Until I know that nothing happened, my gun is safe, the car is safe, Nicky's safe, I'm not going to put everybody in jail over this fucking head. I'll let him the fuck go. And believe me, this fucking old bastard, we better all run if I let him go, I think, because he's a tough bastard. He's us. He's older than us, but he's us. Don't underestimate this guy. He has just blew me away. He's saying things and talking about things and doing things that I can't even believe it. We have a thing that when you walk in, you're coming up this little pebble road, and I can hear you. I'm sitting on the driver's side with a .357 Magnum on my lap. He's sitting on the floor in the back, right behind me. We're talking. When you're coming in, when you hit the back of the vehicle, hit it 1, 2, 3 times. I know it's you. If you don't do that, it could be a cop. And I'm going to get ready. We can't get caught like this. While we're talking, I hear the pebbles. They're getting closer and closer. It's got to be to the back of the truck. No noise. I picked a .357 Magnum and I pointed at the fucking passenger side window. He, very low voice, Sammy, if it's a cop, shoot him in the fucking face before you kill me. All of a sudden the tree taps. Boom, boom, boom. Almost right near the door. I said, you stupid fuck. You would have stuck 1 more foot or 2, I would have wound up shooting you. I told you in the back of the van, hit the fucker. All right, Sammy, calm down. Calm down. Was this a joke? I go out of the van, they want to talk to me. I leave one guy in the van with him to talk to him. He said, Nicky and Joey are together. Joey got back. There was cops came, people, witnesses, and people said, even Nicky said, because he's a victim over there, they didn't know what car he came out of, that there was a fight, and the guys ran away and crashed into the guardhouse and things and took off. There's no IDs on anybody that he heard from. The cops even talked to him, and he said, yeah, I think there was a fight, and they skidded, and they hit the car thing and took off. I don't know what happened. And then he got in the car and left. So nobody knew nothing. They knew there was a fight. They knew that something happened. Nobody knew exactly what happened. No witnesses. No nothing. And my car, it wasn't my car, it was his car, but my gun in his car was on its way back. All right, good. When will it come in? 5 or 10 minutes more. All right. And I walked back to the car, the truck. The guy who was there, I told him, get out. I want to talk to him alone. And I said, John, I told you I was waiting for word. Yeah, Sammy, how'd I make out? Not good, bro. I told you if they told me to let you go, I would have let you go. But if they told me to kill you, I will kill you. I'm told to kill you. I have to kill you. Okay, Sammy, I understand. A friend of ours is going to shoot you. No problem. What do you want me to do? I'm going to go in the back. There's the dumps. There's weeds about this high. Me and you will walk in the weeds. I'm going to introduce you to Louie as a friend of ours. And you'll bend at the waist. It'll be a .357 Magnum. You know the game. You're not even going to feel it. And that's the life. I got it, Sammy. No problem. Good, John. Listen, John, it's breaking my heart to do this. We're together almost 13 hours, bro. Waiting for this call, the driving, the whole thing. I've got to know you and respect you so much. But this is goes in ocean. It's got to be. What's got to be is got to be. I got it, Sammy. All right. They come in. You got the gun? Yeah. Boom. Take the gun. Put it over here in this car. There's another car. All right. All right, guys. Let's go. Joey, get in the van with me, too. We get in the van, all of us now. One guy's going to be left outside protecting the entry into the dump. We go in there and we stop and we all get out of the van and I hear Johnny Keys, hey, Sammy, Sammy. I turn around and pal Joey is pulling him to get him out of the van. I said, get your fucking hands off him, bro. Do you want to get out on your own? Yeah. And he rocks himself little at a time to get out. When he gets out, I grab his arm and help him, support him to stand and to walk. And what do you want me to do, Sammy? Just walk with me into the weeds. We walk into the weeds about a little bit below our stomach. And I said, Louie, come here. John, this is Louie Melito. He's a Meganosha, a friend of ours, a May guy. Louie, this is Johnny Keys, a very powerful captain in the Philadelphia mob. Now they have that official recognition of one another. John, just bend at the waist. Okay, Sammy. starts to bend at the waist, slowly. About at the level I'm at right now, he looks up at me. He says, Sammy, I'm glad it's you, and I love you. Oh my God. Those words killed me. Go ahead, Louis. Louis shoots him, he hits the ground immediately. Boom. 357 Magnum, people who know guns, it's an extremely powerful gun. He shoots him 2-3 more times. I think two or three more times. It wasn't even necessary. The first shot in the head, he died instantly without pain or struggle or resistance or anything. I said, all right, guys. Nobody with us was happy about this hit. Everybody developed a respect for him, the way he carried himself, things he said and did. And we packed it in. I told everybody, go home. Everybody clean up. Louis, get to this van tomorrow, clean this fucking van down from one end to the other. You know the drill. And everybody, whatever you were wearing or this or that in this van, get rid of it. And it was done. And the next morning, I went to Taro. Taro was outside of his club, waiting. And I went there, and he was there. He said, Sammy, unbelievable. I got the newspaper in my hands right now. He said, you pulled it off, you did it. Yeah, I did. He says, here's the newspaper. Take the newspaper, you don't need me. Go report to the boss. And you don't need me to come. So I got in the car, had the newspaper. I drove to Staten Island, Toad Hill, where his house was. Pulled in, the maid opened up the door. Opened the door for me to come in. I started coming in, and then she started going. And Paul Castellano was in the kitchen area. He got up from the table and started literally almost running to me. As I got close to him, he wrapped his arms around me, kissed me on the cheek. He says, my God, Sammy, you pulled it off. We did it. The Gambino family. And he looked at me and said, what's the matter? I said, Paul, I feel dirty. Last night I killed the epitome of our life. Everything we are supposed to be, he was. I think we killed the wrong fucking guy. This guy should have been the boss. He said, Sammy, this is a commission hit, as high as it gets. And I'm your boss, and I gave you an order to do it. You followed your orders and did what you're supposed to do according to Cosa Nostra. At a commission meeting, I told them that you, Sammy the Bull, has the head. Every boss, every underboss, and every consolea of all of the 5 families are going to know that you did it. Nicky Scarfo is going to know that you won the war for him. Anybody in your shoes will be jumping up and down with joy. You're going to be a fucking big shot, a heavyweight. I said, Paul, I don't really give a fuck about that. I fell in love with him last night. What'd you say? I fell in love with him. He taught me Cosa Nostra like I have never heard or saw. I don't know if I could die like him. The things he said, the things he did, the way he conducted himself, I don't think I'm half the man of him. I just feel so uncomfortable with this hit. I'm not happy about it. And no disrespect, Mel. I don't give a fuck who knows about it and how they feel. He grabbed me, hugged me again. He kissed me on the cheek and he said, Sammy, you did the right thing. But don't change how you think. Don't change who you are. Be you. Do you want coffee? I said, no, Paul. My crew is waiting. They did a great job. And they were all sick about it, in a way. It's the life. We did what we were supposed to do. But, I mean, the guy was incredible. Eventually, you'll hear all the stories, Paul. And I'm sure you'll be blown away. He says, I know he's a tough old goat. And a lot tougher than I ever thought. And I think back about it now. And I'm talking to you people out there. When I talked about this series, it's going to be a movie. I'm talking to people already. My repayment to him, you're going to think it's benefiting me, and it probably will. I'm going to do a movie about it. But I'm giving him what he deserves, a fucking legacy. If he's got great-grandchildren, grandchildren, whatever, I hope you guys understand. I loved him. I respected him. I'm trying to give him the highest compliment that you can give somebody in Cosa Nostra. I'm letting go that people know who in the fuck he was, how he lived, what he did, and how he died. So with this, guys, I'm going to sign off. Go take a cup of coffee. Because now, when I say this story and I say some of my stories, it really actually rocks me right now. I mean, I don't want to sound like a bitch and start, getting teary-eyed. But that maybe it's age. But that's what it does to me. And I have a beautiful girl who works for me, Anna. And one day she asked to hear the story, and I told her the story like I'm telling you. While I'm telling her the story, I could hardly see her face anymore. She's teary-eyed. She feels sorry for him. Why I don't see her face, I see Johnny Keys' face as I'm talking to her. As strange as that's going to sound, probably people think I lost my mind, but that's why when I talk about it, and I talk about some of my things, I do choke up a little bit at times. I try not to. But some of these things are so deeply in me, like some sort of a scar or something. And I can't get rid of it. I could talk about it. I hope I brought him to life, especially when a movie is made, that the whole world sees him. I'm working some heavyweights in Hollywood. I don't want to say their names, but told me that, do you know what you two guys were? I said, yeah, gangsters. He said, no. You two guys were samurais. He knew he lost. He wanted to die with honor, like a samurai does. That's those Japanese fighters. And you treated him. You were like a samurai as well. You gave him what he wanted. He wanted to die with honor. I have to do this story, the guy says. And the guy is still with me. And he will be doing the story. And I never looked at it that way as samurais, and that he wanted to die with honor. Not that he wanted to die. Nobody wants to die. But he wanted to die. He knew it was over. He knew he lost. And that's a samurai. When they know they lost, they'll bend at the head. You could chop their head off. They stab themselves in the stomach. They do all these crazy things we think are crazy. Johnny Keys did the same thing. This guy who told me that, Hollywood guy, he's 100% right. I never looked at myself as a samurai. But that's what me and him were that night. I said I respected him, I loved him. I respected the strength he had as a person and how he chose to die as a man. I'm glad, not that it was me, but I'm glad I gave him exactly what he wanted. He got caught up in Cosa Nostra, so did I. But I made him die. I filled all his requests. I'm sure when his wife read in the paper that he was found without his shoes, that she must have realized he's sending me a message. I can't talk to her because I know she passed away years ago. Not right away. She lived for quite a while, but she's dead now. What other parts of family he's got, I don't really know. But I hope when they see these videos or they see the movie, I gave him something he wanted desperately, is to die like a man. And I'm giving him that. So, enough of that. So, I'm going to say, listen, as my usual sign-off is, adios, motherfuckers.
Thank you, Sammy. Even though Soft White Underbelly consists of a lot of videos, it's really still a photography project to me. And if you appreciate the photography, sometimes it's difficult to enjoy it when it's scrolling down the screen, which is the only option I had in this horizontal format on YouTube. So last year we came out with the first Soft White Underbelly book, which is a collection of the best portraits from the thousands of interviews I've done. Each portrait in this book is accompanied by an interesting quote from the person's interview.
Oh my God.
There's more.
Wow. These aren't as bad as I thought. I look like a witch.
The book includes multi-page spreads of both Rebecca and the Whitaker family. I will not be reprinting this book when it sells out, so once it's gone for good. You can order yours at softwhiteunderbelly.org. $125, $150 for a signed copy. And thank you for watching.